What's up, YouTube family and sports fans? It's your boy Chris, the Drop Balls Podcast, back again with another YouTube video for you all. So while you're here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Ring that bell one time for your boy. And let's get into this. And if you like listening to podcasts, be sure to tune in to Drop Balls Podcast. I drop an episode every Tuesday. Just dropped one this past Tuesday, which was, yesterday? So go ahead and tune in. It is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Amazon Audible, Spotify, all of the above. So be sure to tune in to Drop Balls Podcast. Last episode was dope. Talked about Kyle Pitts, and is Kyle Pitts the best tight end prospect ever? I gave my opinion on that, so be sure to tune in. But today, what I want to talk to you all about is I've seen a lot of things come out in the media, and my homeboy tagged me in this Twitter post today, talking about Kyle Pitts and how the Dallas Cowboys are infatuated with Kyle Pitts at number 10. Now, for one, I don't think Kyle Pitts drops below the 8th pick. I think either Atlanta takes him, and if they don't take him, then I believe Carolina will take him, since they just got Sam Darnold, and to get him some more offensive weapons. But if Dallas takes him at number 10, if he dropped to number 10, I think is the stupidest move they could make. And the reason I say that, now, Kyle is nothing against Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is an amazing talent. I think he's going to be a very good tight end in the league. He's going to be an instant starter, very dope tight end, and very athletic. I mean, he ran a 4.42 or 4.44 at his pro day. Now, granted, it is only hand time, so that's probably about a 4.5, 4.6. But he's going to be a great tight end in the NFL. So I'm not taking anything away from him, but Dallas has such glaring issues on the defensive side of the ball that if you take Kyle Pitts at number 10, to me, it's just idiotic. Now, I think Jerry Jones' infatuation with Kyle Pitts is because at number 10, you got Dallas, then you have 11, the New York Giants, and then 12, the Philadelphia Eagles. And so now if you don't take Kyle Pitts and he drops to number 10, that means he's going to probably go to either the Giants or the Eagles at 11 or 12. And then you're going to have to play him twice a year. So I think that's where it comes from. Not necessarily because they think, he's going to help out the team tremendously, because that offense is already set. I mean, Dalton Schultz didn't have a bad season last year. He still had like 46 receptions for 631 yards and 4 touchdowns. So, I mean, it wasn't glaring numbers like, ooh, these big numbers that pop off the page, but he contributed. Not only that, Dak got hurt not even halfway through the season. And before Dak got hurt, they had like a top 10 offense. So if Dak doesn't get hurt, Schultz might have more yards. And not only that, but when you have Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup, the tight end, whatever you get from the tight end is just frosting on the cake. It's the cherry on top. It's not really something that you need. It's not a necessity for you. Now, they messed up I don't think they really messed up, but they took CeeDee Lamb last year. And, although he paid dividends, came in and helped that offense, they still had glaring issues at defense. And you saw that all last year. I mean, hell, they gave up the 4th most rushing yards on defense last year. They were like 21st in passing defense last year. So you had glaring issues on defense last year that you did not address. Now, you drafted Trayvon Diggs, which is fine, but you have a linebacker, Leighton Vander Esch, who can't stay on the field. You have a linebacker in Jalen Smith, who, he has a lot of tackles, but when you watch him, he makes a lot of false movements that puts him out of place a lot of the times. Now, I don't know if that's the defensive coordinator's fault last year and how that defense was ran. I don't know. But all I know is seeing Jalen Smith out there, he looked lost in the defense. And, he did make some plays, but he looked lost majority of the time in the defense. Not only that, but you had a defensive line you had a whole defense that only averaged 1.8 sacks a game throughout the whole season. So you mean to tell me that to address that, you're going to go sign a tight end, or you're going to draft a tight end? That doesn't make sense. You have glaring issues and glaring needs on defense that needs to be addressed. Now, they hired Dan Quinn to be the defensive coordinator. What do we know about Dan Quinn? He runs that 4-3, cover 3 defense. That's what he ran in Seattle. That's what he ran in Atlanta. That's what he's going to run here in Dallas. That's what he does. Now in Seattle, he had big cornerbacks. He had Richard Sherman. I believe he was there with Brandon Browner as well. But he had the big lanky quarterbacks or cornerbacks. So why not go corner at number 10? You have a chance to get either J.C. Horn, who I believe is like 6'1", 6'2", and like 210, maybe 218, something like that. He's out of South Carolina. You got a chance to get Patrick Surtain Jr. or the second out of Alabama. He's 6'2", 208, ran a 4.42 at his pro day. Once again, I don't put a lot of stock in pro day 40s because his hand time is not laser. So to me, that's just unofficial time. He had a 39-inch vert. He had a 10-foot, 11-inch broad jump. He has 10-inch hands, and he's a monster on defense. He's an instant starter that's going to instantly help your defense. He's not afraid to come down and tackle. He had 9 pass deflections last year, 1 interception that he took back for a touchdown. I mean, there were some plays where he got beat because he doesn't have the glaring speed. I mean, he's fast, but he doesn't have the glaring speed like a Caleb Farley. But Caleb Farley, he's coming off of that back surgery, and I believe he didn't play last year. So that's kind of going to hurt his draft stock. But he would be prototypical for that defense because he played in a lot of zone at Virginia Tech. Patrick Surtain did not play in a lot of zone, but when he did play zone, we saw that he could play corner in the zone defense. We saw that. And you're not gonna get him off the first move because he's very patient. If you cause him to misstep, that's your only way that you're really gonna beat him is if he take a misstep, and he doesn't do that often. So why not go him at corner? Also, he reads the quarterback's eyes quickly, which you need when you're playing a zone, especially cover 3, something like that. You're gonna need a corner that can read the quarterback's eyes and make plays off of that. So you can go there. Once again, I said defensive line needed help. They averaged 1.8 sacks a game last year. It's not a lot. That's not very good. So defensive line, my homeboy Larm Dog from the Joe Cat and Larm Dog podcast, another member of Redacted Media YouTube channel. He had hit me up, posted me in some tweet, or tagged me on some tweet that from Get Up. They did a whole video about Dallas taking Kyle Pitts or whatever at number 10. And me and him was talking about it on Twitter. So be sure to follow me on Twitter. Follow your boy. I follow back. We have discussions. Let's get it. But he tagged me in the post, and we were talking about it. And then he said, one of the things he hates is that they failed to get a big boy up front. He's a Dallas fan. That they failed to get a big boy up front. So if that's the case, you got Christian Barmore, who's coming out of the University of Alabama, led the team in sacks last year with 8 sacks, had 9.5 tackles for loss, and he had 3 forced fumbles. Get him. That's a big boy that can play the 3 tech in a 4-3 defense. A 4-3 front base defense. He's 6'5" or 6'4", 200 or 310 pounds. He ran a 4.93 at his pro day. So that's probably about like a 5, 5 flat 40, 5.1 maybe, or 5.01, somewhere around there. So why not get him? 10-inch hands, big dude. He got 34 and 5/8 arm length. Get him. Address the linebacker position. Address the edge rusher position. Something that's going to help your defense actually perform to the level they need to perform at if you're trying to make it to the Super Bowl, if you want to make it to the big game. I mean, you got Micah Parsons you can get at linebacker. You got Jeremiah Owusu Karamoa or Koromoa. I don't know how to say his last name, but who he went to Notre Dame. You got him. You got Kwity Paye at defensive end. You got Jalen Phillips at defensive end. You got Jason Owe at defensive end out of Penn State. There's so much talent that you can take at number 10 versus taking a tight end. To me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to go tight end at number 10 when you don't need the help on offense. You have a running game. You have a quarterback in Dak Prescott who's coming back off of his injury. You have receivers. You have Dalton Schultz. Now, granted, he's not Kyle Pitts, but he's a solid tight end. So what would be the point of that? Like I said, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't, and I don't understand the infatuation. Fuck it, I can't say it anyway. I don't understand, why you're so hooked up on Kyle Pitts. I don't get it, especially when you have glaring issues at other positions that you need to address. Now, granted, when Dan Quinn came over to Dallas, they did bring in Keanu Neal. They bought Casey. I believe that's how you say his name. They bought him over as well. And now Keanu Neal, they're saying they're going to play a linebacker. So if you're not going to address the linebacker position and you trust Keanu Neal can get it done, then now address the safety position, which you can address at probably 40 or the 44th, because I think they got the 44th overall pick as well. You can address somewhere down there in this draft, but you got to go corner. You got to go defensive line. You got to go linebacker at number 10. Not offense. You can't go offense. You need to build up that defense and get that defense right. I think if you build up offense and you fail to continue to build up that defense, then you're going to be right back in the same spot that you were in last year, where your defense couldn't stop anybody and you had to rely on offense to try to pull out shootouts. And we saw how that worked for them last year. I mean, besides the Atlanta game, they really didn't have, I don't think they had much comebacks besides the Atlanta game, where they came back off of a fluke from Atlanta on the what was it? The onside kick. That's why they came back. It wasn't because defense was just out there getting stops. It was because Atlanta did Atlanta things. So, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Fix the defense. If you're a Dallas fan, let me know what y'all think y'all should address at number 10. Let me know what y'all think y'all should address in this draft. Leave your comments down below. Glad to talk to you about them. Also, follow your boy on Twitter. We can have the conversation on there. It don't matter. But let me know what y'all think about what y'all should address in this draft. If you believe y'all should go Kyle Pitts, let me know. I don't see it. Anyway, I think Kyle Pitts will be gone between 4 and 8. Either he goes to Atlanta or he goes to Carolina. I don't think he falls to number 10. Just my opinion. But yeah, let me know. Be sure to tune in to Drop Balls podcast. Go listen to the episode. Let me know what y'all thought about the episode. And if you listen on Apple Podcasts, please leave your boy that 5-star rating. And until next time, y'all be easy. Peace.